Hi, this is Alka and welcome back to my channel. Well, here's a case I had not been following until now. The Karen Reed murder trial. It didn't end well for the prosecution as they hoped. I understand this is what happened. According to WCBS Boston, Karen Reed's trial. Judge declared mistrial in high-profile Massachusetts murder case. So, a mistrial was declared Monday after a Massachusetts jury of 6 women and 6 men informed the judge they were hopelessly deadlocked in the murder trial of Karen Reed, a woman accused of hitting John O'Keefe, her boyfriend, with an SUV and leaving him to die in a snowstorm. 6 men and 6 women sent the judge notes on Friday and Monday expressing that they were unable to reach a unanimous verdict. We continue to find ourselves at an impasse, the jurors wrote in their final note. Our perspectives on the evidence are shakily divided. Some members of the jury firmly believe the evidence surprised the burden the proof established the elements of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Consequently, others find the evidence failed to meet this standard and does not sufficiently establish the necessary elements of the charges. After reading their notes out loud, Judge Beverly Cannon declared a mistrial. They failed. They failed miserably, and they will continue to fail. Defense attorney Alan Jackson said outside the courthouse. No matter how long it takes, no matter how long they keep trying, we will not stop fighting. We have no quit. That's what it says. I didn't make that part up. Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrisania said in a statement on Monday afternoon that his office planned to retry the case. We thank the O'Keefe family for their commitment and dedication to this long process. They maintain sight of the true core of the case to find justice for John O'Keefe. Morrisania office wrote, the Commonwealth intends to retry the case. Reed, 44, of Manfield, is accused of hitting O'Keefe with her black SUV outside her home at 34 Fairview Road in Carrington on January 29, 2022, following a night of drinking. Her defense contends O'Keefe, a Boston police officer, was dragged outside after he was beaten up in the basement and bitten by a dog at fellow Boston officer Brian Albert's home in Carrington. Reed, a former adjunct professor at Berkeley University, or Bentley, whatever, pleaded not guilty to the charge of second-degree murder, which carried a maximum penalty of life imprisonment, along with manslaughter while operating under the influence of alcohol and leave a scene of personal injury and death. The manslaughter charges carry a penalty of 5 to 20 years in prison, and other charges have maximum penalty of 10 years. The parties are due to return to court on July 22nd for a status conference. Right now, the district attorney is totally in charge of terms of the charges, Corkland said. They can also seek the plea bargain, which is something that I'm guessing they'll at least talk about. Hours in the mistrial declared, the Massachusetts State Police announced that Trooper Proctor, whatever, the leading state police investigator who was at the center of the controversy in the case, had been relieved from duty and transferred out of the detectives unit of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. During the trial, Proctor was questioned about the message he shared with a group of friends in which he called Reed a whack job and an expletive, meaning some kind of curse word. He is now subject to state police internal affairs investigation. Ooh, boy. So Karen Reed, 44, of Mansfield, is accused of second-degree murder. In other charges, the prosecution said that she hit her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, with her vehicle outside a home in Canton during a snowstorm on January 29, 2022. Following a night of drinking, she returned hours later to find him in a snowbank. Reed has pleaded not guilty. Reed and the defense team claim that she is the victim of a cover-up and plans to present a third-party culprit defense. They claim O'Keefe was bitten inside the home, bitten by a dog, and then left outside. In the pretrial motion, prosecutor revealed the extent of the text messages that's says, suggesting of a romantic entanglement with a friend who was present at the location. Reed and O'Keefe visited during the night of the incident. Other documents also suggest trouble in the relationship between Reed and O'Keefe. Reed is also accused of having frequent contact with a controversial blogger known as Turtle Boy, Adrian Carney, who now faces charges in a related case. Of course, opening statements were delivered on April 29. Closing arguments were delivered on June 25th. Of course, Reed's case was surrounded by a media storm, underpinned by distrust of police and fanned by crime bloggers. Large crowds of supporters, often wear pink, gathered outside the courtroom during the case. During closing arguments, the first attorney, Alan Jackson, told the jury, "You have been lied to." He argued that the evidence, including an interview video of Reed's SUV at the Canton Police Department garage, was intentionally manipulated by the investigation that sought to protect other members of the law enforcement community. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, there was a cover-up in this case, plain and simple," Jackson said. Prosecutor Adam Later, offered juries a timeline paired with the evidence number documenting their theory of the case. He also opened his presentation by quoting numerous first responders who testified that they heard Reed said, "I hit him." Those are the words that came out of the defendant's mouth. Lara says. It's Lally. The defense says the witness who claimed to have heard her say that she hit O'Keefe was or has changed the story, though couldn't have heard the comments due to the chaotic scene. Jackson said in the interview focused on Reed because she was a convenient outsider who saved them from having to consent other suspects, including Albert and other law enforcement officers who were at the party. In particular, there were highlight connections between Albert and the state trooper leading the investigation. Michael Procator didn't draw a thin blue line. He erected a thin or tall blue wall, Jackson said. A wall that you can't scale, a wall that Karen Reed certainly couldn't get over, a wall between us and them, a place you folks are not invited. We protect our own. Although Reed said she was willing to testify, she never took the stand in her defense. So, this is a very spicy case here involving a potential murder, hit and run, drunk driving, police misconduct, an officer getting run over, and a split jury. They couldn't decide if there was enough to convict or not to convict. They tried it for a while, for 2 days, and they just couldn't come up with a conclusion. So we don't know what's going to happen between now and July 22nd when they come back. Whether they're going to, they said they're going to retry this case. Well, we'll see what happens. If they're going to do a plea bargain or they go back to trial again. So sometimes these cases are not like 1, 2, 3, boom, that's it. Just like the trunk case. Now, especially when a death is involved and drunk driving, it's a very touchy subject. That's all I know, and hope I don't have to go through this case again because I just read it once and I don't like it at all. So this is Alcan saying so long for now, and don't forget your stop. Whew.